what I came across is all of the footage from when I went on a Bigfoot expedition clear back in I don't even know when it was. This folder was created in 2017, but it might have been before that. I mean, in these videos, I was like almost 400 pounds. I was clear way overweight back then, totally different lifestyle. But this is when I got invited to go up to the Sierra Nevada mountains where the Sierra calls and all of these Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings have occurred historically. Some of the most famous videos and audio recordings of Bigfoot and Sasquatch happened right in the same area. And this guy, Justin Smia, said that him and his friend actually shot at a few of them up on this mountain at this location. I got invited to go film as part of the behind the scenes crew, just like I'm doing with the History Channel now. But this was one of my first experiences ever doing something where it wasn't just like going out and filming with my wife and kids at the time, but I went out on my own and went all the way to California and met up with all these guys. We put Justin on a lie detector test. We went up to the location where the Bigfoot sighting happened. This was my first experience with what I think of now as like probably a skinwalker or big shadow figure encounter, but this thing left footprints and we even plaster cast them. So let's go back in time. You're gonna see me gain a whole bunch of weight. We're gonna go back into the early 2000s, and when I go to the Sierraville, California, up into the Sierra Nevada mountains, and we're gonna go Bigfoot hunting. You ready? There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown.
Where they said, hey,
so
these
when you said
whitetail and these blacktail and mule deer are breeding, and we need to eliminate all the deer in the area, and it will actually help the population. And then at one point they were getting blue tongue disease, I think it was called, and chronic waste disease. They were talking about just eliminating deer, and they said, if we want to save the deer, we have to kill them. I've been a part of stuff like that, where you go in and kill like 20 in a day. They give you a conservation permit, they call it, and it basically says, do whatever the hell you want, kill a bunch of deer.
Right.
I've done that.
They've done that with jackrabbits where I'm from, where they'll do. They actually have announced what they call bunny bashes, and you don't even need a permit. The jackrabbits just like boom in population, and there's people literally just going out there on four-wheelers and ATVs, just shooting them like crazy, and there's no limits or anything because they're destroying like the farmers' crops and stuff.
That's similar to what this was.
Right, but it's more like disease.
A lot of it
and
was.
stuff.
Well, they get diseases because of the overbreeding in certain areas. They get concentrated. They have no food.
Right.
I've been there when they said, "Hey, we got 3 fields. They're baited. There's a bunch of corn out there. We need to go in there and exterminate all of them."
I loved it.
Right.
And they're going in there and killing them. The
I'm signing off.
kind
Okay, bye-bye.
of effed up thing was they're like, you can't take them with you.
You just have to shoot them and leave them.
Oh my
It was
God,
for conservation. It was.
Right. I mean, it
Hunting
sounds brutal,
had
but
nothing to do with hunting.
people that don't understand like the way that that's done.
Nothing to do with hunting. It was about
Right.
saving the animals
Right.
by killing them.
Right.
And I've done that where you might get maybe 20 in a day. You're not counting. You shoot all your arrows, then you go to the 22-250, and you go to the 22, and then you go back to the 300. And you're like, okay, well, we're out of loads. All right.
Right.
Actual number, I have no idea.
Yeah. But you kill a lot of deers in one day, like 20, 30.
I have like 60, 70 racks in my garage, and
Yeah.
I have pictures with all of those deer.
So,
and then I have pictures with about 30 or 40 other deer.
yeah.
So so when
But
people
I don't
question
care to
the
brag
idea of like your hunting experience and when you were saying like
You're just
I've
establishing
shot
your
like 200, 300
Well,
deer.
no, the only reason it was brought up is because my experience was questioned, which I've never had that. Where Michael's like, I don't think you're very experienced.
Right.
I bet that's why he
Who
thought
is
it
no? It was
It caught you off.
yeah.
You went straight on the defensive, and
No,
it was a different side of
He
yourself.
went on the, Michael, you're a drinker, aren't you?
You can tell.
You're an alcoholic. That's what you said. You're an alcoholic, right?
That's what he came back with.
Somebody who doesn't drink.
That's what he came back with.
Because
You're a
they're
drinker, aren't you?
alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant by that. He doesn't. You can tell he doesn't drink.
Where did this come from, Justin?
That's as crazy as saying that I'm inexperienced. So who's experienced then? I've gone on the
You're a
TV
drinker.
shows. I've worked with the conservation. I've worked with fishing game. I've gone out there and done that. Who's experienced then? There's only like 10 people that.
That's the whole thing with this experience that you've had though up in the mountains. The whole Sierra Kill story. People, if they can't like discredit the story itself, then they start grasping for these other things like the caliber of the gun, the type of gun, your hunting experience, and they start.
Yeah, you might as
it's
well,
naturally going to happen,
you might
right?
as well ask me what I had for breakfast that morning.
Okay, so we're going to go up
Oh my
to the site tomorrow.
Yeah.
We were just talking.
14 views.
You've seen.
I feel like
tracks.
I found 3 different pretty good tracks. I mean, nothing crazy. I don't have a
See what the comments are.
claim of having 5 that are in my backyard or anything like that. But I feel like I have 3 very good tracks, 3 different
Isn't that-
people,
isn't that nice
all
picture?
pretty
Like,
well
Yeah,
known.
no, that's
CM
totally
And
blocked
they were all
out.
within the same week. They were
So let's check out.
all the activity has always
Who else
happened
has
in
something to
August,
say?
right before the archery hunters get in there.
Really?
What's going on is we're going up there right before deer season opens,
Right.
and right before bear season opens.
And
Right.
the form
And
is
the archery
really
hunters
well
come in there.
to,
The thing about it, there's people on quads. We'll see people. But they don't get off the
Is
road.
that, is that
They all stay on trails,
Oh,
right?
general,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
And so the idea is we're getting up there before anybody
Let's see here.
actually gets off the road. We're the first people to be up there since there was 15 feet of
Okay,
snow
let's
up
see
there.
this. Let's see that.
So that's the idea.
Oh, look at
Right.
Is
that.
we're going to beat the archery hunters in there. Nobody does that. People go
Dude, that
scouting. They
rocks.
just drive around.
Bro,
Right.
come here and look at this.
We're the
He's
first
got
people to go
enough
up there.
evidence.
I believe
Of course
that
you did a
we'll.
nice photo.
Yes, it is.
So-
So your idea is that we're going to get up there like from when you've seen footprints before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
all
there's
all
a-
the footprints were found within a quarter mile of each other.
And look at the
Super
comment.
small area,
Comment goes.
I see.
which is
Doesn't
not
look
next
like
to
Do you
the
think
hillside.
it's logistically like as far as the terrain and the environment like hospitable area for something like that to live? Like is there water?
Everything could live out there. I mean, there's so much. I mean,
I
we could
guarantee
live
you
out there
they
eating the
put-
grass. I
Right.
mean, you'll see that. You'll see vegetation. You're like, that looks like a freaking salad.
Right.
We could live out there.
Look at
Did
the
you see
comments.
the comments
Look
already?
at Justin looks like he needs a nap. I guarantee he is an inbred.
You've had trail cams up there since
Oh,
the
look,
shooting,
look at my
right?
YouTube.
Yes.
Right now, there's a whole
Okay.
thing going on.
I feel like I've gotten
Adjusting,
different
It looks like I want to blow
blob
Justin,
squatches.
And I'm like,
like if you were to measure them on a 1 to
probably
10,
had sex afterwards.
Yeah.
then
I was like, that shit is funny. I
Yeah.
these are like a 6 or a 5 or 6. They're even poor on the scale of blob squatch.
Okay. Are they literally just like shadows in the darkness kind of thing?
No, not quite that
Yeah.
bad.
Keeps going.
Yeah.
No, you zoom in on it, you study
Yeah,
it, you
that's
send it
why
to somebody
I-
that knows
I love your
photos, and you
comment.
still they're like,
Right.
It's so funny.
that could be anything. I see what you're seeing, and that doesn't like one of them that looks like a face. You see a hand wrap around a tree, and you see a face. That could just easily be a shadow, but it doesn't. It's not a shadow. I'm not saying that it is a
My
Bigfoot.
husband
Right.
was making me laugh my ass off.
It's very
I
intriguing.
How-
I've chosen not to release those photos
Right.
because you just look like every other stupid Bigfooter. It's like, oh, I got
Compared
Bigfoot.
to what
Yeah.
was.
I was surprised. I was like, what?
So what are we doing, Ro?
We're
Phillips
getting
in.
ready for Justin's polygraph. Got a list of questions written by Bart Cutino that Justin has not seen. Bart has a background in criminology.
Right.
We hired this lovely lady, Jeannie, to execute this and have some fun with this and see where it goes. Pretty excited,
That is
actually.
exciting, yeah. We kind of sprung this on Justin last night that we were doing this today.
Yeah. And he's excited about it.
Yeah,
He's
his response was good. Let's do this. Get it over.
He's actually in the past been the one who's like, I'll take it, let's do it right now. I'll
Right.
take it.
Do you have
We took him up on his offer.
any reservations at all, or like, what's your thoughts on doing this right
Jim,
now?
what are your thoughts on the Bigfoot? What are your thoughts on
I
the
don't know.
Bigfoot phenomenon?
You don't care.
I don't know. I don't think you can.
I mean, I'd be nervous doing a polygraph. and I don't even have- you know what I mean? There's-
yes. Because I'm trying to find a way to say, well, yeah, I'm a little uneasy.
There's a little bit of skepticism as to what's going to happen that you don't have control over.
Oh yeah, and I don't know what the questions are,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
right. I guess we'll see, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Great. I'll take it.
So Justin, this is your dog that you took up there?
No, that's a lab. That's a lab.
Cammy.
Oh, that looks like more the part, right?
Yeah. That's Camille. They're not used to
Holy smokes. Okay. But she's pregnant, so she can't come up with this trip.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, with special spot finding dogs.
Right.
It's bred with the dad that had actually worked with us in the past with the descents that we have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This event has become known on the internet as the Sierra Kills.
These questions, which we have here, which are the relevant questions to the situation, will be placed in the middle of the known truths and known lies. And then, as long as these questions stay under your lies, then you're telling the truth. And that's what we want to look for. Is all about the pins, and they'll all be in the charts. And then when we're done with the exam, I'll type up a report with all these questions, whether you passed or failed, and then I can also send you the actual charts themselves, which show the pins. So I'll email you that. So what I need is two things that you've done in the past. It has to be 5 years ago or prior to that, and these are not going to be on the test. They have nothing to do with this situation, but they're my control questions. So, say for instance, when you were a child, did you lie to your parents to get out of trouble, or
A general question like that?
a general question?
Yeah, I didn't everybody. I mean,
Yeah, that's why I like to use that one, because I pretty much know that's a known lie if you tell me you never did. Okay. All right. So, if you want me to use that one,
yeah.
okay. And then I just need another one. Like, did you ever get pulled over by the cops for a traffic ticket?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, have you ever been pulled over for a traffic ticket by the cops for a traffic ticket?
I know, right?
You tell me no. And when I ask you if you ever lied to your parents when you were a child to get out of trouble, you tell me no. So those,
I'm supposed to lie on this. Okay.
those two questions about your past.
No.
No, like no, I never
Yeah,
that.
okay.
And those are the two lies that are going to give my instrument, they change the sensitivities in your body that shows my instrument that you are not telling the truth about those. All right, and that's going to determine whether these are all the truth.
Well, here's where I had a question about. It's okay, so you ask me all these questions and my heart rate and everything's totally the same. And then you get to a question and you say, have you shot Bigfoot? And then it's like, my heart does that thing when it just wants people to say that. I'm like, how is there a way to figure out when I am or am, like if you ask somebody, hey, have you ever cheated on your spouse? And it's like a real serious question, then wouldn't they have a reaction to it anyways? It's your job to read between the lines, or?
It is my job to read between the lines, and this instrument is very, very accurate. It's the most accurate instrument in the world. It not only measures micro sensitivities levels, but it measures micro. So, which is very, very, very sensitive. So the main thing we need you to do is just to hold very still. You know, the only things that I need you to say are yes and no to the questions. Try not to move any other body parts, because it will pick up noises and any other body movements. So in a polygraph, you sit very still, nothing crossed, and you pretty much focus straight ahead on one focal point without looking around. Because when you're looking around, your thoughts are changing. Because, oh, I see the clock. Oh, I see a light. You know, just focus on something very plain. And say if you were to just stare outside, you know, and just think about the questions. Don't try not to think about other things, you know, and just focus on the question. And you know what these questions are already, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So first of all, we're gonna go over that, because you have to know.
That's what I was saying. I was worried about. Like, you have these questions that are like too direct, like too like.
Oh,
and
no,
I'm like,
no,
well,
no, no.
because my body's gonna have reactions.
I'm sorry. I totally thought that you knew these.
Well, that was the idea to spring it on me to like try to catch me and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
My own idea, sort of. But.
Okay. But in a polygraph, it's best that you know what's happening.
Okay.
And so that you might have questions like, well, just a little different than that, and then you want to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do now.
Because you want yes or no.
Exactly.
That's all you want.
We don't want maybe or like, no, it wasn't on the
Or
green
can I explain this?
side of the river, it was on the other side of the river.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to talk about that now so I can formulate these questions. Okay. Okay. So the first couple questions are going to be, you know, is today Tuesday? Is your last name Smea? And how do you spell your first name? Just
Justin.
Just regular Justin. Okay. Is your first name Justin? Do you live in Citrus Heights? Do you live in Citrus Heights? Do you live here? Okay. All right. And things like that. Those are all yes. And then the two lies. the two other ones?
No, I didn't lie to my parents. And
No.
no, I've never been pulled over.
Right. Okay. And then these are going to be the questions that they want for this exam. In late October 2010, at the site you brought others for a body search in July 2011. Did you directly fire on 2 animals, one adult and what you believe is one juvenile of a species others would logically term Bigfoots or Sasquatches?
Easy, yeah.
Okay, so that's a yes. Okay, was the first shot fired on site a direct hit to bipedal animal you've never seen prior?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Are you certain the first target was a species you didn't recognize or believe previously existed or even could exist?
Sometimes I wonder, I'm pretty certain, I guess. I mean,
Okay.
a little uncertainty there. Well, like
Should we not
sometimes I have scenarios in my head where I think of like maybe it was a bear that got this disease that got hit by a car that started walking funny, and I try to explain it to myself in a way that could make sense. But go ahead and ask it, and you can just tell them if I lied or not. But I am kind of a little bit like. Yeah.
Okay, let me think about how we could rephrase this. Are you certain the first target was a species you didn't recognize or believe previously existed or?
Well,
even
they
could
both were, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no, they both were.
Okay.
Was that the same?
Oh, we can say so. Are you? When you first saw this particular species of animal, did you believe it was something that you'd never seen before?
Oh,
or
yeah.
existed?
Oh, yeah.
You want me to do that? Say that?
Your GoPro.
Is that okay to change this to that?
Yeah. Do whatever
Okay.
you need to.
Do you want to grab? Do you want me to grab mine, bro? So you get.
Where are you from?
I'm from Orangeville.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah, it's 2.7 miles. I just have a question. Did they find this thing animal?
That's what we're trying to do.
We went back a couple weeks later because we hit it because the fishing game was at the gate basically. I'll like make it real short. And we came back and we just found some flesh. We sent the flesh to a DNA lab and they said, "What the fuck is this?" They said, "Oh, this is real. This is 2 years later, they're still working on it." And like now, like 6, 7 different labs have it, and it's moving from there. But it basically comes back as a person, but it doesn't.
Person with animal hair.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a person.
Okay. Did you tell your wife about what happened with the shootings immediately?
No.
To the best of your knowledge, does your wife fully believe you shot 2 Bigfoot creatures in late October 2010?
She's up in the air on it sometimes. I don't know how else I can answer that.
Right. Without asking her.
Yeah.
Because.
Well, no, she'll say, "Of course I believe you." And then every once in a while, she's like.
So basically, the first part was to the best of your knowledge. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Did you create the whole Sierra Kills story to cover up something else you don't want anybody to know about?
No.
After conversing with Derek Randalls, were you excited and confident about returning to the shooting site to successfully collect remains of the juvenile subject killed for monetary reward?
Yes.
Were you frustrated about being able to locate the juvenile's carcass on first return trip to site?
Yes, I thought it'd be easy.
In December 2011, 2 days before a scheduled trip with Bart Coutinho, were you confronted at your residence by 2 men who identified themselves as California Department of Fish and Game and came unannounced?
Yes.
Did you?
Well, it came up with fishing game. Yes.
Okay. Did the 2 men identify themselves as Department of Fish and Game ask you very?
Look nervous, dude. Come on.
Yeah, no, like, there's definitely like.
I'd be nervous.
I saw your legs twitching.
Yeah.
That's what I do when my ADD's kicking in, like when I'm trying to get out.
Everybody's completely focused on me, and that's.
Yeah.
But that's why we'll leave, so you can.
It's just weird. It's like not something you do every day. It's just kind of weird. Yeah,
Well,
one
like the
way.
repercussions of this to me are like.
Well, don't worry about this coming up false, because it's very, very accurate. You know, a lot of times people come over, or I go to people's houses and like, well, you know, how does she know what she's doing? You know, what if something comes up wrong? This measures in a way that it measures on a scale from 1 to 100. and it measures no deception on 1 to 30, deception on 80 to 100, and the 40% in the middle isn't inconclusive. So it's not even close. It doesn't even, it leaves that big 40% in the middle so that it's not even close versus, you know, somebody could say, oh, well, you know, could be.
Can I get you talking about the machine real quick? Earlier you said this is this specific machine. It works like this. It's this type of machine. Can I get you to just say that as you're setting up?
Sure.
Right now?
I use the limestone instrument. It's the most accurate instrument in the world, and it's the same instrument that our Department of Defense uses in espionage, sabotage cases. Our U.S. Army uses it, and our federal agencies, which hiring Highway Patrol and sheriffs and stuff, they use the same instrument. It's been tested and evaluated as being 98.99% accurate, which is the most accurate as you can be without being perfect. There's nothing perfect in this world, so they would like to say it's perfect, but you can't legally say anything's perfect. So 98.99 is about as close as you can get. And versus the voice stress analysis, which has been actually ruled out by the University of Virginia and our Department of Defense, the voice stress analysis has been ruled out as being valid for any deception uses or no deception uses anywhere. It's about 55% accurate. So this is the best way you can do, the best thing you can use, and the best way you can go in order to find the truth out on the planet. Mm-hmm. Besides the big brain scan, which costs like $15,000.
Yeah, we had trouble scraping up $150
Right.
So
Do you mind if I ask like what how you get qualified? Is there a license or something to conduct the polygraph or?
Yes, certification and licensing, which consists of going to an academy, and after the academy you take your certificate and actually buy the instrument. You can't buy the instrument without the certificate.
I see.
Because it'd be like going down and having your regular civilian go down and buy an EKG machine,
right,
which would not be good going around and testing people's hearts. So, yeah, you basically have to know what you're doing before you run the instrument.
Okay.
I've been doing this for 10 years, and I'm looking forward to doing this one. It's quite interesting. So, completely passed his polygraph.
okay.
He passed every question, which in my professional
I'm
opinion.
going to film you saying this.
Okay,
Need
I
a
figured
card.
you wanted.
Let me get a card out of my bag.
You liar.
Right,
I
I did.
punch somebody in the face. Like, there's like all these people want to call, yeah, mother.
I bet, man. I bet.
I was hoping you'd fail, man.
That would have been such a more interesting story.
I would have just blown this thing out of proportion. I'd be like, I'm not his friend no more.
Yeah, fucking hoaxer.
Save you a lot of grief being his friend online. Or,
Yeah,
like,
for pretending to be my friend
drinking
all the
Justin's
time.
point,
Yeah.
drinking Justin's Kool-Aid.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah, but
accusing me
that's
of
what they
drinking the
say.
Kool-Aid all
Like,
day
once you hang out
today.
with them, once you talk to them, everybody tends to agree. So we just call it like the Justin Kool-Aid. That's what everybody says.
Oh.
Like, because all the people that don't believe, they're like, yeah, no, they're drinking the Justin Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
All right. So, let me get you in focus. Okay, Jeannie, would you like to give us a little review of what just happened?
Well, I just polygraph tested Justin Smeha on a situation where he claims to have shot a bipedal primate and a juvenile bipedal primate in the mountains, and I tested him on questioning him whether to the truth of the matter, and he completely passed every question. The report will be generated and given to Justin and his associates here on the details, and the charts will be given to prove the accuracy and the results of the test, that he completely passed and is telling the truth about shooting a bipedal primate.
Based on your experience, and this, I'm just going to put you on the spot. Based on your experience, and you've been doing this for 10 years, and the results on this test, are you inclined to believe that Bigfoot is a real creature or not?
I believe Justin. I believe Justin not only because of the results of the instrument that I used to test him, but just on talking to him and knowing liars in the past and knowing, reading the facial expressions and body movements of people that don't tell the truth. Justin doesn't appear to have any reason to be lying about this, and doesn't appear to need any kind of personal or financial gain from it. Basically just wants to tell the truth.
And were you referred to us by a friend? Did we have any association. Did you know any of us before we did?
Absolutely not. I have no previous contact or I've never seen any of you, ever. Nope.
Well, thank you so much for making, I know this was last minute and
No
squeezing
problem.
us in today.
That's what I do.
Thank you so much, Jeannie.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
All right. Take care.
Justin, I know like you were confident you were going to pass, but still there was some level of stress.
I was nervous. I don't know if that's normal or not, but well, she said it was.
You're fine.
I was nervous, but
So is there like a level of relief at this point? Even
yeah, no, I'm about to call Derek and call Bart and be like, hey, here's a confidence booster. Thanks for believing me or saying that you believe me. But that's kind of what it's about, being able to like tell those people that have really put a lot of effort into this and money and time. Hey, here's a confidence booster for you. You say that you believe me 100%, and you say you bet your life on it, but now you really can. Now you really can believe me, you know? More so than, I guess, even the DNA results.
That is awesome. This is some good stuff. What say you guys? Are you guys ready to make a Bigfoot documentary in the mountains?
I'm ready, man.
Left a Bigfoot believer. So
Yeah, well, no, so we asked her, we said, No, they were.
No, she said that she said this is not, we have to work on these questions. So we worked on the questions and
Yeah. Well, I was nervous. And she told me, she's like, everybody's nervous.
his leg was twitching. I got me scared because of how much his leg was twitching.
Yeah. No, she's all, no, if you're not nervous, there's a problem. She said everybody's nervous. But she said 110%, 1,000 cases, something. She said, so we asked her, so do you believe in Bigfoot? She's all, I believe Justin. And she had that on camera. So.
Who's this, Ralph, on the phone?
Bart Katina.
Thank you. Mom was not supposed to be eating in your car.
Even though I know how they work pretty well and
So thank you.
terminology, I would still be there taking when no, they're
Those are
really
yours.
nervous about everything because it's just
Here you go.
deep. What if it reads wrong? What if, you know what I
Tell Bart I just published the pictures of you.
Hey, there's
I have it on my laptop.
Yeah. There's pictures of what that looks like.
Yeah, there's pictures that we're not allowed to show.
So this is the frozen sample that you have here. Piece of what you gathered.
Yes.
That's going to Oxford University.
This is supposed to go to Oxford?
Yeah, Justin's supposed to send that out.
Okay.
Dr. Sykes.
So it's frozen in ice. You were just explaining that it's frozen in ice. Why? I mean, for obvious
Moisture-
reasons, but
Yeah. Well, if you take and freeze a steak like that, it'll be the same in 20 years as the day it was frozen.
right.
I mean, people do that in taxidermy to preserve animals, and they'll take like a duck and they'll freeze it in a block of ice.
You want to start this? You good?
They'll take and preserve like a duck in a block of ice, and they'll mount it 12 or 15 years later, and it's exactly the same as the day it was frozen. It's a lack of moisture. It's drying out that takes and causes
Right.
freezer burn. It's just some stuff getting dry. That way it'll never get dry. Everything around it over years and years and years it'll get smaller and smaller. But I just did them all like that, and it's super easy. You wrap them, put it in the bottom, put ice in there, put water in there. You put like a little toothpick to hold it at the bottom. Then
So that it stays down and doesn't float
so
up?
it doesn't float up. Yeah, and then you put that in there, frozen, boom, easy. And I did that with a bunch of samples. That's just one small one. That's enough for a DNA lab to test about 4 or 5 times. And I wanted to take, and the idea was that it can never disappear this way. I put it in enough different places. Almost like conspiracy theory stuff. But
I see.
found this. I wonder what that's about.
What is that?
It's a fishing game. Whenever the fishing game comes to your house.
Can I film that?
Well, it's just some guy that stopped me the other day.
Oh.
And he was like, "You're the Bigfoot guy." I know. He's like, "Yeah, you are."
Huh. Do you want to film this?
Yeah, I got it. Put it down. You can put it away.
Yeah, so
Alright, guys.
I'm gonna put this back in the freezer.
Right now, I am good.
For thaws. But yeah, this is gonna be one of the most important evidence right here. 'Cause it's going to
Oxford.
use Yeah, university. Hey Justin, where do you want to put this?
The freezer? That is a 22 bullet. That is what a varmint caliber looks like. For everybody's future reference. This is a 300 Win Mag, which is big enough for anything in North America. And this is a 25-06. No, you have to imagine the tip. It would be relatively the same size. So actually, I might have a spin. Ew, okay. Well, this actually makes sense. Okay. 22 caliber. That's what a varmint cartridge looks like. This is a 25-06, and this is a 300 Win Mag. I mean, I don't see this big difference between the 300 Win Mag and the 25-06.
We are at Bassett's.
And maybe a
That's the way it is.
I don't mind, I don't care.
What are you talking about? Went from 10 people to 4?
There might not be anybody else meeting us here.
Yeah, I thought it would be up to 15. And then 10.
I think it's better that there's fewer.
It's not gonna hurt my feelings.
No.
I think it's great,
More.
honestly. Less to have to try and manage and keep under control and under wraps, you know, I don't know. You don't have to worry about
You
loose.
practice your calls on the way up here?
Ro did one out the window.
Did you hear that?
that was
him?
Ro, yes. He got carried away. He goes, woo!
Oh,
real
Justin,
loud.
did you hear that? Squatch.
What was that?
What was that?
I love how you're folding your arms right in front of that dude. That's like a great shot right there. Majestic hair flowing in the wind. A lot of wind, I know there's a lot of wind. This is Haskell Peak.
That's Haskell Peak. You gonna see all this freaking deer on the way in? We're not gonna drive that pony. If you guys get lost,
Big rock outcroppings, the sheer cliff over here, like it's just immense forest up here. Whoa, big tree in the road. Should have got rental car insurance, but I didn't. Not even really a road at this point. It's just almost like a trail. It's so pretty up here. I can't get over that. I love it. It's so beautiful. I'm totally geeking out right now about where we are at and what we are doing. It's just so surreal. I'm ready. I am ready to do this. Famous last words, right?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Well, I want to be able to set up shots properly and stuff. If I'm doing it now, they're not going to be the best shots in the world and things like that. You know?
Well, yeah, it would also be good to do it when it was actually the right type of light. When the sun's all the way here, it was just cresting those mountains. We still had sunlight coming through the trees.
Yeah.
It wasn't dusk.
Mm-hmm.
But you got the meadow over here.
Right.
And this is like a ravine right here. But it's just a complete blind corner because the whole time you're here, you cannot see what's over there.
Right.
That's why it's the blind corner. To say there's trees in the middle, but that's just nice. It's really a blind corner. We were right here in the truck, and it was in between these two. There's like a triangle somewhere. Okay, yeah, I see it now. I mean, it was just straight over there. They came out of the brush straight behind it, the young ones, and everything went that way. But I mean, the truck was probably parked exactly right here because we didn't take this corner sharp. We ended up driving the truck down further to just to where it looked like we were going to get stuck, just right down here. And then where they disappeared and where all of it happened at is this hill line right here. Then as soon as those trees over there, it drops straight off. It goes down. And so a lot of it happened right over there. But I mean, we'll have somebody stand there and we'll get everything figured out. But it all happened right here. If the body was anywhere, it'd be, as soon as we walk over there, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, anything could be in here.
Right.
I mean, it's like as big as a football field, almost, these bushes just right over here. That would be wherever it was. I heard it crash over here, but we never found it over there.
Right.
So,
where about was it standing when you shot?
All the way down through there.
It was down through there?
Yeah.
The grouping of trees.
See where this big tree is?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah, right about there, but there's a certain triangle just to the left of that tree.
Just to the left of that big tree?
Yeah.
Beyond, like a little further past it? Or just
about
right
even with it.
Really? Wow, that's
straight
pretty freaking close.